Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, again, and also the host for Webtalk Legends Podcast. It's all where I bring my guests on that share their story. They talk about a variety of different things, trials and tribulations, what has happened, has hurt them, things that they had some adversity, and we're gonna hopefully you're gonna learn something today, and you're gonna actually implement. Keyword: implement some of the ideas, the tips, the strategies that we go over in our conversation. Couple housekeeping. If you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. Drop a couple comments. That would be wonderful. Where you're watching from. Drop a favorite emoji. These are great for our algorithm. And before I bring on my guest, I want to make sure that you all take a look at Got Backup. It is something it's taking the world by storm. And for some reason, it's not popping up. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Here it is. We have the 6 terabytes you can get. Most of the time, you go to Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud. It's 2 terabytes for $9.99 a month. This is 6 terabytes for $9.97. Have 6 accounts. You can have it across your family, friends, etc. And you actually have a reseller ability to earn income. The big dogs, iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive do not have that ability. So keep that in mind. Let me bring on my next guest. We're going to have Eric Melnikoff. Let me get him in here. What's up, brother? How are you?
How are you, young man?
I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day and dropping some value for us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah,
Good
man. So
stuff.
before we even get into it, I love to share who are you and what do you do, Eric?
My name's Eric Jon Melnikoff. I'm a real estate broker. I've been for 20 years, 2 decades in the business. Um, I help people buy, sell, invest in real estate. We have a team. We're a Place team. Place is the largest real estate team in the world, going public. And my brokerage is Keller Williams Realty, and we have a big passion of educating people. So we have a real estate wealth building summit that we do, and we've been doing this for a while now. So it's pretty big. We find that most agents in our business don't invest in real estate. It's ironic, right? They
It's
don't take
true.
advantage of the employee discount. And so, that's something that I'm kind of passionate about, educating the agents. We used to do it for, how to build your business, how to, build a big listing business, and have since transitioned into how to buy and own real estate or fix and flip. And so the two categories that we like to focus on are agents and young people, like earth people. So I have a passion of helping kids between the ages of 16 and 21 so that by the time they're legally able to have a drink, they're already owning real estate.
Hey, that's fantastic. It's all about education. The more value that we bring, we don't have to sell anything. If we're providing that value, you're
Right.
teaching, you're connecting with other individuals, which is a fantastic thing to do. And I know you have been in real estate for 20 years. I applaud you for doing that. What were you involved in before real estate? That's a question I think a lot of people might not know.
Well, yeah. So I owned my own company. So before I owned my own company, I was actually in a different type of real estate. I was in the cemetery business, right?
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Okay.
yep. Yep. Worked for the one of the largest cemeterians in the world, and they are big companies, believe it or not. And when I got out of that business, I developed my own telecommunications company. So I bought and sold systems that were in banks, doctors' offices, lawyers' offices, mortgage offices, and yeah, I was able to transition out and see that that industry was going voice over IP in the very early stages. We saw the technology changing, and
Hmm.
right after 9/11, in fact, we supplied a lot of the disaster relief telephones that the finance companies used. They used to have these, they probably still do, have like undisclosed locations, like the big investment houses. So they would have these warehouses with switches ready to go in case, God forbid, there was a fire or, the buildings in this case came down. So we supplied all their telecommunications equipment. Um, and so I was able to sell that company successfully and get a nice chunk of change and a 1 year no show salary to kind of help them if they needed me. And that was my ability to transition because most people don't Most people don't come
Right.
into real estate with the Brinks truck in their back pocket, right? And it's challenging. So I was able to, not be stressed out, start my real estate career in Hoboken, New Jersey, back in, gosh, 20 years ago,
That's a good
2003.
story, man. Some other businesses you're involved in. You sold one. You had a little nest egg. A lot of people go into real estate thinking it's not a business. They think they're going to just, pass the test and then make all this money, and they forget there's things you have to do. You're basically lead generation, and everything that we do, no matter what you are selling, you're developing. You have to develop your leads. If you don't do that, you're not going to have anyone to talk to, no matter what that is. And it could be insurance, real estate, it could be a network marketing, what have you. If you're not talking to people, you're not growing. And picking up the phone, using this is an important thing to do. People, oh, it's cold calling. No, you connect with other individuals. And it could be
Yeah.
small business owners who know other people. How important is the using the phone in your business?
It's funny you should say that. I'm at my home office, as you can see, and I'm standing up at the stand-up desk. I create, and again, I have a team, and I've been hiring agents, training agents for the better part of 12 years, 14 years now. Um, I'm looking at my wall. Of course, I have a couple pictures of my kids, but I also have scripts right in front of me. I don't need the scripts. I know everything I need to say in my head, but I'm programmed like that. So the phone, I think was your question, how important is the phone? Uh, I'm a prospector. I'm a lead generator. I know you are as well. And it may not happen to be where, hey, I'm picking up the phone every day for 3 hours a day, but the connection machine is a lead generation system in that you're bringing value to your community. You're building a community, you're bringing value. And from that, yes, you'll make contacts and so forth, but a lot of times, just because who you are and who you've grown into, people want to reach out to you because they know you're the insurance doctor, right? So, and ultimately, look, that's how we feed our families. I was on the phone today with an agent who called me back. I spoke to her about a year and a half ago. She wanted to join the team. I said, look, you're going to have to go all in. I'm not interested in dual career people. I'm not interested in people who are going to try it out unless you're ready
Right.
to dive all. You don't, you want to dip your toe in the pool. And, a lot of people come into real estate dipping their toe in the pool. And if you've ever been on a really hot, steamy day and you're at somebody's house where they have a pool, you dip your toe and you're like, oh, I'm the type of person who doesn't like the shock of the cold water.
Yeah.
But I've also been there where a friend comes up behind me and pushes me, and I get in, I'm like, oh, I'm shocked out. But after a minute in the water, I'm like, thank God. I mean, I would have never, there are times I've went to barbecues where there's a pool and watched them having fun in the water and never got in because I didn't like that shock. It's the same thing with lead generation. It's the same thing with sales. Unless you're going to dive in, I don't think that there's value there. It's very hard to get something going, um, trying it out, right? So the phone in my world is critical, and we need to make an X amount. I tell agents if they want to sell 30 homes a day, have 30. I'm sorry, 30 homes a year.
For the
Have
year. That'd
30
be great, I
quality.
bet.
Have 30 quality contacts every single day, and not just once or twice a week, like 5 days a week. If you and it's hard, it's not easy to do, you know, but if you can have regular conversations, and some of those conversations for me, you can stop me if I'm talking too much, but some of those
No, this
conversations
is it.
for me, I have buckets in my day. I'm not going to reach down and get my calendar, but I literally time block my calendar. So in a 3 hour lead gen block, you know, 30 minutes might be past clients, 30 minutes might be expired listings, 30 minutes might be FISBOs, 30 minutes might be sphere of influence. So if I'm calling you and you're in my sphere, I'm not really talking about real estate so much. I know that, but I'm having a good quality conversation. And towards the end, and I'm not going to be more than 5 minutes on Shawn. Hey man, I know you're busy. And I am too. I'm running into another meeting, but I thought about you and I just wanted to touch base with you. How you doing, brother? Great, cool. Kids are good. The kid, door, family, good, awesome, man. And you'll ask me, you'll reciprocate. We'll have like a 2-minute conversation, maybe three. Listen, man, I know you're busy, but I drove by something that made me think of you. I wanted to say hello. And that's it. That's it. Now, if I ask you, how's work? How's business been? What are you going to ask me?
Same
How's
thing.
business? Yeah, you're going to ask
Right.
me. So, I could have a quick, personable conversation with you. I always preface it by saying, hey, man, I know you're busy. I'm actually running into a meeting too. This way I don't have to sit there and talk for 20 minutes for somebody. And I am. The next meeting is the next phone call. So I'm not lying. Right. And, and then I'll say, after I get the personal stuff out of the way, which I try to do that in under 60 seconds, then I'm going to ask you, hey, so real quick before we hang up, how's business good? Okay, cool, man. And you're going to say, how about you? I'm going to say business is good. Hey, man, if you know anyone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest, I'm out here, brother. And I don't ask you, do you know anyone? Certain people I do. Like if I'm cold calling a neighborhood, I don't even ever say, do you know anyone? I said, who do you know? It's not, do you know anyone? It's who do you know? Right. So I'm big on the phones, as you can tell, and I'm big on how to speak. The words I use are really important. So it's big. It's my career.
It's key. And being comfortable, being uncomfortable, a lot of times is where people have to kind of dabble too. You say, get up to the pool and you're going to get pushed in. A lot of people have to get that push. They need a broker. They need a mentor. They need somebody that's going to keep them doing things outside the box. Oh, and I push people to try to do videos. And I do videos. Now I'm doing videos more consistently than ever before. I'm sending text message videos. I'm just like, hey, man, Eric, just like you just said, I'll do it in a video, send it to you. I don't know if I did that to you yet, but that's coming. But it's something that works because you're being top of mind. And if you want to keep following up, that's important to do. I just did a video the other day, 6 ways I follow up with people. And that's part of it. Using these little skills, these tips, and actually implementing them. What about social media? How important is that for you?
It's critical. I'm not huge on social. I intend to be. I've purchased a couple gurus, self-paced courses, and one of them I've actually finished. But for me, it's something that it's time consuming, right? You have to shift. I'm a phone call person, right? And so I have to learn a new habit. Whether it's the consistency, I bought Final Cut Pro because I think I'm going to be a YouTuber at some point, and hopefully it's not a yearly subscription because I haven't used it in 4 months, 5 months, So I think it's critical. I mean, I know it's critical once you build, and once you build that audience, right, and you feed it good content, it's really cool to get in our world, we say, come list me calls, right? Or come write me up calls, right? Hey, Shawn, there's nothing better, I'm sure, than I calling you saying, hey, Shawn, I need a policy on whatever. It's like, duh. Yeah, great. You don't have to cold call for it or even warm call for it. So, to invest that time in video or whatever social media platform that you're dispersing it to, I think is critical. And I really want to get into it more often, but it's a slow go,
It's a habit. It's being consistent. It's a discipline you got to kind of create. I tell people all the time, come up with 5 topics. You can shoot basically 5 videos in like 15, 20 minutes if you do it within a short period of time, and you have now your content for the next week. For if you go 5 days, you want to do like 21, so you have 7, for the week, 2.5, 3-minute videos. Boom, that's content. Oh, I don't know what to talk about. You think about things that you don't talk about anything with real estate either. You try to do things that are helping others on different avenues, and then do one on real estate, and then help with other things, then come back to real estate or insurance. Like all the videos I've done, I might have had a handful. Recently, I've been redoing some of them, but it's just something that just do it consistently and watch what it does.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Brad Lee. Brad Lee is a. I don't know if you ever heard of Lee.
Yep.
He's the technology behind like the education platforms for like Tony
Lightspeed.
Robbins. Lightspeed, right? So Brad Lee said something once that really grabbed me, and I've been talking to his company to hire them. He said, people don't know what, like you just said, don't know what to do. They don't know what content to put out. He said, just be the content, right?
Yeah.
Be the content. And that's where, if you can afford it, you have somebody with a gimbal or whatever following you around for a certain amount of time so that you can just gather content. So I like that, because I think that people are into, whatever it is you're doing. People watch. People are and hopefully it's within the space that you're bringing value. At the end of the day, if you're bringing value, you're gonna get the eyeballs and the attention, and ultimately that's your buyer pool, your lead pool.
Yep. Yeah. It's on autopilot. The more you do, the more you're going to get. Any final thoughts? I know we talked about, you have something coming up, an event. I would love for you to give a little promo about.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So, so like I said, I've been ever since I went to Keller Williams 12 years ago, I started teaching, and then we started hosting events about 11 years ago, 60, 70, 80, up to 125 people. Last year, coming out of COVID, I had half a dozen young agents working for me, like young, like average age 20. 19, 20, 21, 22. And I said, look, in this business of sales, you got to have a lot of conversations, just like what we were just talking about, and start with your friends. And they said, but Eric, our friends are only, they're college kids. They're not buying real estate. I said, really? So I put together an event for last June in Wayne, had about 130 people there. And on stage, my dozen or so speakers, the oldest one was Kyle Kovacs. I know you know Kyle.
Yes. Yep.
Real estate broker, owns Kovacs Real Estate. He does these syndicates. He was my oldest guy at 34. I have a bunch of speakers who are investors. 90% of the speaker investors that are coming are real estate agents. And I just got off of my own stream with Christian Osgood, who's 34 years old, owns 250 doors in the last 3 years. He's built a portfolio. So we are hosting Build It Now Live in Long Branch, New Jersey. You can go to builditnowlive.com to get information. And it's an all-day event on Tuesday, April 2nd in Long Branch, New Jersey. We have a room block. If you come the night before, look at the ticket availability. Early bird seating ends next week. And it's really designed to help educate mostly agents, but young people as well, to buy real estate. I'm going to be teaching there's a lot of breakout sessions. It's an all-day event on how I'm going to be teaching how to find, fund, fix, and flip real estate. I do that at a fairly decent level as a side hustle, right? But I'm also there to learn. I want to build a portfolio. I'm 55 years old. And I have young kids. I have babies. And so I want to be with my kids.
We're the same way, man.
Yeah. My oldest is 13. My youngest is 4. And so I don't, not that I'm lazy, but I don't want to work for too much longer. And I want to have a portfolio that's working for me. And when I got off the phone, the stream with Christian, man, 250 units, the guy's making $100,000 a month in cash flow. So that's what I'm going. I love that I'm hosting this event, but I'm also going as a student, so you should too.
Definitely, man. No matter how, I'm 47. So the older we get, the more we have to keep plugging away, learning, growing, putting things into our minds, keep us, on that straight and narrow. And yes, keeping us young, because I have young kids too, 5, 3, and 1, besides my 17-year-old. So it's keeps us going. And I hear them running around upstairs, and I know it's something that we want to do a lot of things. So those that are watching, please definitely look at the description in this video. It has all of Eric's information. Reach out to him. Take a look at the link that will be for his event as well. And let's get as many people to that event. I'm going to promote it extra on a side note for you. And definitely appreciate you joining us, Eric. Everyone else, we hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Appreciate it.